guys, thanks for coming out. My name is DJ Thomas White. I've been making music since 1996 with my partner here in the front, Pete Williams, and we had a house music act in Los Angeles called Natural Rhythm. Our goal was to make vinyl records and have them played in clubs and have a lot of fun with it, which we did and we still do, but things have changed. One of the changes was the move to digital music. And as vinyl guys, that was pretty much the worst possible thing we could imagine. No more records, no more tactile interface. As much freedom as there was, I got into a rut. In the arrange window, in the computer, I started looking to see if things looked right. That's completely backwards. Who looks at music? We feel music, we vibe music. For me, I kind of hit a wall. One of the reasons that I'm here to tell you how excited I am about the OP1 has to do with the fact that I'm glad to be back to a tactile interface. This is the OP1. It looks a lot like, in many people's opinion, the VL tone from the 80s, little Casio VL tone. It's built by a group of guys called Teenage Engineering in Sweden. Aside from being a lot of fun, it's actually a little bit of a lot of different things. It's a drum sampler, a synth sampler, a 4-track tape recorder. There's an effects processor, and there's delay effects in here, a hacked cell phone effect, and a spring reverb effect. It's also got an FM radio inside. On the drum sampler, you get a long 12-second graphic at the top, and then it automatically trims that sample into little mapped pieces. Or they've put out a really cool editor where you can drop them into a graphical interface, set the mode, set the playback, set the gain, set all of those things, hit save, and it burns a OP1 friendly drum kit for you. I tend to work with a lot of samples, so this is really handy. It's got 4 folders: synth, drum, album, and tape. It can hold 42 user drum kits, 42 sampler, synth sampler patches, and then 100 different preset patches. 7 synthesizer engines plus the sampler, and then there's 1 drum synth, and then of course all the different drum kits. So we'll just do a demonstration really quickly of how to program Endless, and it's super neat. You hold shift down and just start playing notes. This sequence is going to play like this. There are features over here called lift and drop, pulling from old school tape verbiage. And later when you plug it in USB, I told you there are 4 folders: synth, drum, album, and tape. In those folders, the album has a stereo track for side A and a stereo track for side B, and you can pull that right out and get to work on it in your DAW or your post-processing. One of the most talked about effects in the device is actually this one right here. This is called punch. It's resonance and kind of like a volume boost, like a compressor as well. Pretty rich for a little digital device. It's a nice filter, and you can program the frequency to be controlled by the LFO. You can program it to any of the synth parameters or the effect parameters within the engines. Kind of cool. There's no way to save your different pattern sequences, so I can't save this anywhere in the OP and go back and say later on, load me up sequence A, sequence B, whatever. If I turn this off right now, I don't have to save anything before I turn it off. It's actually going to turn back on with everything exactly like I have it. There's no need to save. You won't lose anything unless you delete it on your own. You won't lose any tape unless you take it out on your own. And you can get a lot of performance out of a device that typically has a short amount of memory if you plan it right. And again, that comes from the necessity of the forced innovation. I need to figure out how to do this and how to be useful with it in a way that makes sense. It's got a whole lot of potential and something really cool to check out. That's it. Thanks, guys.